Good morning. Today we are going to learn how to do the indirect speech. What is indirect speech? When I normally talk to somebody, that is direct speech. I, the speaker, talk to somebody else, the receiver, it is direct. When I repeat what somebody already told me, and I am going to repeat it to somebody else, it is indirect speech because they are not my words, but somebody else's words that are to me, and I have to repeat them to somebody else. So indirect speech is, for example, when you are told something and you have to repeat it, it is switched from direct into indirect. It is also called from a gossip or a repetition. How do we understand this better? When I tell you something, it is my present, okay? When you have to repeat it to somebody else, it is not a present anymore. So you have to make what we call a backshift or a verb tense change. When you do this, then you have to change the whole tense into something translated into the past. How do we understand this? A backshift is when I change something into something else. So for example, if I have something, the direct sentence, in a simple present way, for example, I walk to the park, I have to repeat it, make a gossip, or make the indirect speech in simple past. She said that she went to the park. Again, I walk to the park. She said she walked to the park. I make the change because it's not me, the one who is walking to the park, and certainly it's not happening right now. So I have to make a backshift from simple present to simple past. What happens if the original sentence is in simple past already? If the original sentence is in simple past, I have to do it in past perfect. For example, we went to the supermarket. It is already in simple past. When we try to make it in the indirect speech, they said they had gone to the park, to the supermarket in this case, from simple past into past perfect. Then we also have to make a backshift when the original sentence is in present perfect. We change it to past perfect. How about when the original sentence is in present progressive? When the original sentence is in present progressive, we have to make the backshift to past progressive. How is that into a chart? All you have to do is check the explanation. As you may see, if the original one is in simple present, we have to make the backshift into simple past. If the original one is in simple past, we have to make the backshift into past perfect. If the original one is in present progressive, we have to do it in past progressive. And if the original one is already in past perfect, there is no change to be made. It has to remain in past perfect. Remember, the idea of a backshift is to send everything to the past. It is not your present and it didn't happen to you. You are making a gossip or repetition, so you have to send it to the past. Present, past. Always try to do that backshift and you will be safe in the indirect speech. The indirect speech topic also includes modals. When you are told a sentence that includes a modal, you also have to make the backshift. When the original sentence includes the modal will, you have to make the backshift exactly the same one, but with the modal would. When the original one includes the modal can, you have to make the backshift with could. When the original one has the modal may, you need to make the backshift into might. These three modals change. There are some other modals that because they are already here into the indirect one, they do not backshift. For example, these three. If the original one has the word should, you must keep it the same way. You have to use should. if the original one has the word might, as you see, might is already here, you have to repeat it exactly the same. There's no change into that modal. And if the original one has the word would, you need to change it. Remember, you always have to change the pronouns. You are not the executor of the action. You have to say, she said that she, or they said that they, but you always have to make the back shifts when it's possible, or not change the back shift when you don't have to.